Here are the tools you need, and here are the materials you need. First, wash the potato to clean away the dirt. Dry the potato with cloth so that it won't be too wet but just a little bit damp. Next, cut the potato in half using a knife. Next, stick the 4 wooden skewers into the potato but make sure not to pierce into the eyes of the potato. Fill your cup with water until it is almost full. Next, submerge a little bit of the potato into the water. Make sure that the inside of the potato is touching the water. Make sure that only a little bit of the potato is submerged in the water. Next, put it in a place where it can get light. Make sure that it will not get wet because of the rain. After 2 weeks, my potato has grown some purple-colored sprouts. When it's ready, pull out the skewers. Place it in a pot filled with soil that has been mixed with a fertilizer. Make sure that it will have enough space to grow the new potatoes. Cover the potato until only a little bit of its top will show. Pour some water to the soil and wait until the potatoes grow. And that is how you plant your own potatoes.
As we know, there are 2 types of reproduction, sexual and asexual. Sexual reproduction requires 2 living things in order to create an offspring, while asexual reproduction only requires 1 living thing in order to create offsprings. In this case, potatoes reproduce asexually. To be more specific, the potatoes in the experiment reproduce through the asexual process of vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is an asexual reproduction in which a new plant grows from a fragment of the parent plant. Potato tubers have the eyes or the dark dams in it, from which the new growth begins. The new stems growing from each eyes are called the sprouts, and the sprouts will give rise to the new plant. There are 5 main factors that can affect the germination of potatoes: water, light, temperature, relative humidity, and oxygen. First, water. The submerged part of the plant that is submerged in water will absorb the water, and that water will act as the nutrient for the growing potato. If left long enough, the potato will grow roots under the water. However, due to the tight schedule of my experiment, my potato did not have enough time to grow its roots underwater. Now, if the potato is put too far up from the water, it will not be able to absorb the water, and the potato will not be able to grow properly and can actually die, as it does not have enough nutrient to sprout. However, if the potatoes are placed too far down into the water, or if it gets wet because it rained, potato blight might occur. Potato blight is a disease that can cause the growing potatoes to rot. Light does not significantly affect the germination or growth of the potatoes. However, the light will affect the outcome of the sprouts. The potato will turn green if exposed to too much light. The green is actually the chlorophyll and are generally harmless. However, it can be an indication that an increased level of glycoalkaloid compound called solanine may be present. This compound is potentially toxic if consumed in large amounts. However, when potatoes are placed in more shady areas, they will not germinate as well as potatoes that are placed in more sunny areas. And their sprout will also be more of a purple color rather than a green color, which is what happened to my potato. Third, suitable temperature. Potatoes have their suitable temperature to grow in, or the ideal temperature. It ranges from 15 to 21 degrees Celsius. If the temperature gets too warm, it will encourage the growth of diseases by creating an ideal environment for organisms which could detrimentally affect the potato. Warm storage conditions also increase transpiration and respiration, which could cause increased water loss in the potato. But if the temperature is too low, the potato will have a hard time growing because the chemical reactions happening inside of it are maybe too slow and can eventually stop. This is also the reason why people tend to store their potatoes in cooler places in order to prevent the potatoes from growing sprouts. Fourth, relative humidity. At 100% humidity, water droplets can form on the potatoes, which can speed up decay and lead to diseases and rotting. At less than 90% humidity, the potatoes can dry out. The fifth one, oxygen. Germinating potatoes respire at a very high rate, which is why enough amount of oxygen is needed for germination to take place. If there is not enough oxygen in the surrounding the growing potato, the potato will not be able to respire effectively, hence hindering its germination process. In conclusion, what did I learn from this experiment? I learned that potatoes reproduce asexually through vegetative propagation, in which new potato sprouts grow from a part of the parent potato. There are quite a lot of factors that affect the germination, including water, light, temperature, relative humidity, and oxygen. From this experiment, I also learned that it is not difficult to grow your own potatoes. Maybe if we are trying to save money on food, growing our own potatoes can be the answer. It is because potatoes are also filling for our stomach. You can also decide what kind of fertilizers or pesticides that come in contact with our own potatoes. It also lets us control when to harvest our own potatoes as food.